At least 19 children and 2 teachers killed, 17 more injured.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming to the channel today. This video here is highly requested. I probably had over 100 people message me asking me to do this video, and I have to be honest, I wasn't going to do it, but here we are. We're about 85 miles southwest of San Antonio, and about 50 miles north of the Mexico border. We're in Uvalde, Texas. I think I'm saying that right, Uvalde. Everyone knows why we're here. A couple of fun facts about Uvalde while I'm talking. They actually became known for their honey production back in the late 1800s. I was doing some riding around, little research. Town hasn't grown very much in the past 10 years, only about 500 people. They did a census back in 2020 and did one back in 2010. Only grew about 500 people. This community's kind of staying the same. Very, very beautiful place. And very small community. The whole city's only about 7.5 miles of landmass is all that it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into a little bit of it. I've been very conflicted on how to do this story. For one, it involves children. I've waited about a month to come down and do this, try to let a little bit of separation get in between. I'm going to go ahead and say this up front. We're not going to have any conversation about the children on the video today, okay? We're not going to go to any of the graves, nothing, okay? That's my one rule for doing it. I wasn't going to include anything about the children. We're going to go over to the memorial and I'll show you all that, but as far as individualizing anything with the kids, that's too close for me. I don't want to do it, okay? So Salvador Rolando Ramos, I'm going to try to only say that name that one time. 18-year-old kid, he just turned 18. He was bullied all of his life. My mind goes so many directions, so I'm gonna try to stay on track, okay? He was bullied all of his life. Had a real bad speech impediment. Had a lisp, had a stutter. Apparently he can handle it too well. A lot of people can't, I understand. Doesn't mean you gotta go do all this, okay? But anyways, several of his close friends, they all came out of the woodwork now talking about him and everything, and he was a nice guy until it happened. It's the same story so many times. One individual story I heard about when he was like, I think 16 years old, he was at they were at a park, best friend was at a park, and Ramos pulled up, had a cut up face, told everybody that a cat had attacked him. The cat had scratched his face, wanted attention. He later came out and said that he took a knife and cut his face up. And the guy said, "Man, you're crazy." He said, "Well, it felt good." So, you know, you can't make, I've said it before, you cannot make heads or tails of these stories like this, try to make sense out of insanity, and you can't do it. So, he had a lot of trouble at home with his mom. His mother, from what I understand, was a drug user. He did not have a stable home at all. And in fact, he recently, about 3 months ago now, but 2 months before the incident, had moved in with his grandmother over near the school. So yeah, the last few months of his life, from what I could gather, he basically was online trying to meet friends in virtual chat rooms and things like that, and he had succeeded. He had met a couple of females on some kind of a live chat app, and so leading up to the, I guess we can go ahead and move into the actual part of the story that I think everybody's really interested in. But he had been talking with the female, and he had given her some, he had said some things, you know, hindsight's 20/20 a lot of times. He had made a lot of comments to her about guns and shootings and things, and this is before he even had his guns that he had bought to do the crime that we're here today for. So he had just turned 18 years old on the 16th of May. On the 17th, he goes up to Oasis Outback. It's a local gun store here in Uvalde, and he purchases an AR-15 rifle. He goes back the very next day on the 18th and buys 375 rounds of ammo. 2 days later, he goes back and buys a second AR rifle. Now, I was told they were both Daniel Defense brand. Then I was told one was a Smith & Wesson and one was a Daniel Defense. I don't know. I know one of the pictures I saw, I did see a Daniel Defense in one of them. So, once again, there's so many facts that people want to know that they just keep going, they keep turning, and I don't want to put them on here, you know. So a little bit of a step backwards real fast. After he bought the first rifle, he actually brought it to his grandmother's house, and she saw the rifle, found the rifle, whatever, and they had it out. One of the neighbors reported them having a real bad fight. They could hear them, you know, from the yard over arguing, and the grandmother made him get the rifle out of the house. She did not want it in her home, so he took the rifle and left. Okay, he came back on the 22nd to her house, which he had already bought the second rifle by then, and she said she never saw any rifles anywhere in the property at all. So he must have been hiding them somewhere, friend's house, or who knows. So this all leads up to the morning of the 24th. He sends a message to the girl in Germany. It's like a Facebook instant messenger type message. It wasn't like a post. And he says that he's fixing to kill his grandmother. She was on the phone with the phone company, and she was harping on him about his phone bill, and he was fixing to kill her. And it was crazy the way she was acting. And then about 2 minutes later, he posts back on the same comment back to her, instant message back to her, that he just shot her in the head, and now he was going to shoot up an elementary school. So that's about all the details I'm going to give on this. I'm going to show you the locations. That's going to be the main topic of this video, is going to be the locations. All the events that happened at the school. There's so much wishy-washy stuff. About all I can say on that is that if that had been my kid in that school, there wasn't enough people there to stop me from getting my kid out of that school. You can call me what you want. You can say what you want to say. I'm just telling you right now, if my kid was in that school and I'm standing outside and I'm hearing gunfire, oh yeah, I'm coming in. I might be dead right now, but anyways, I don't want to get off on that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut over to the neighborhood now. I'm going to take y'all through the locations. We're going to pick this story up, driving right up to his grandma's house, and I'm going to take y'all down the street and show y'all everything the best that I possibly can. I've already driven by the school. There's a huge crowd out there, and I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm going to do this the best way I possibly can. Like I said, I'm in Memorial Park right now here in Uvalde, and I'm staying away from everybody. I'm not bothering anybody. I don't even want to talk to nobody. Okay, I'm just in and out, gone. Okay, so y'all stick around. All right, folks, so we're in the neighborhood of the school here. I'm going to go ahead and take you by Salvador's grandmother's house. It's right here on Diaz Street. The number is 552. It's right here on the left. It's the first house on the left. Okay. It's right here. Okay. I'm going to kind of make this kind of quick if possible. It's right here. 552 right there is the house. And I'm going to double check, but I think that truck in the driveway may possibly be the truck that he crashed. He would have went straight down this way, but he would have headed just down the road. It's just 2 stop signs down the road. Come to this second stop sign here, you hang a right, and the school's just right up there. Just a little piece. I'm gonna take you up there and show you everything. So yeah, as you're coming down here, you can see the school on your left a little bit there. And I'm gonna come to this stop sign here, and this right there on the left is where he blew through that little gate and went off into that ditch. I'm gonna pull up there and stop and give y'all a little walkthrough. Y'all sit tight. All right, folks, so just a minute ago we came right down through here and I stopped. He would have ran the truck right through this barricade here. I'm going to show you as much as I can. You can see where the metal has been here, and you can see the scuff marks on the side of the concrete there. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and show you this. The truck would have came to rest right there about where that pipe is, just about. So as he crashes here in the ditch, two guys emerge from across the street at the funeral home, and he quickly gets out of the truck and fires off a couple shots at them, which sends them running back to the funeral home, and they ultimately call 911. He leaves the truck here and hops over this fence. I'm going to walk up here and show you some more details here in just a second. So as soon as he jumps over the fence, he runs across this field over to where the SUV is parked under the tree right there, okay? There was a last car parked in that spot right there underneath that big shade tree. He hides behind that car and then runs over to the corner of the building right there. All the windows are now boarded up. I'm not getting any closer than this, folks. I feel like I've already kind of pushed over the line a little bit. But anyhow, he goes down the side of this building and he enters the building right there through that door on the side. And that's all we're going to do here. I'm going to back off. All right, folks. So we're here at Hillcrest Memorial Cemetery. I was not going to come here, but I felt the need to come over and try to find the teachers. To me, they're the heroes in this story. They did all they could against an insane person. Anyhow, I don't want to get off into that right here. But, so I actually did a lot of research on this, and I happen to know that a lot of the kids are buried in this cemetery. So when I came into the gates, I stopped for a second and I said a little prayer, and I said, I really want to find these teachers' graves, Miss Garcia, Miss Morales, and of course, Miss Garcia's husband passed away also. But I wanted to find those graves without stumbling upon the kids' graves. That was kind of my goal. Believe it or not, I did not find one kid's grave. I saw a lot of fresh dug graves, but when I was walking up two graves, the first two sets of graves I walked up to were the two I was looking for. So I feel very blessed that that's the way it worked out. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the video. I was kind of questioning, was I going to put this in the video or not? But since it worked out that way, I feel it's necessary. Or maybe just that's the way it's meant to be, So, the first person I want to talk about, I'm going to take you over and show you her grave, is Eva Morales, okay? She was the co-teacher in 4th grade. Her and Miss Garcia, they both taught 4th grade. She was a wife, daughter, sister, friend, and educator, Everyone spoke very highly of her. She was the life of the party, the energy. She was a huge CrossFitter. She was very athletic. Her husband actually was the school police officer, Ruben Ruiz, and she had actually called him and told him a little bit of the situation of what was going on in the room. But yeah, everybody spoke positive of her, and I felt it really necessary to come and share a little bit about her, highlight her in this story, because she was one of the heroes. She fought for those kids. So that brings us to Irma and Joe Garcia. Irma was the other co-teacher that was shot dead that day. And she was running up on a 23-year career, just a few days from it. And what I really want to talk about with her and Joe is their relationship. They had 4 kids. Unfortunately, the kids were orphaned. I think their youngest child was in 7th grade, I believe. So the kids were a little bit older. I'm sure they have family that can, just breaks my heart thinking about that. I saw a photo of all the kids standing between the 2 caskets. And man, you talk about pulling at your heartstrings. But they were just a few days away from their 25th anniversary. They had been high school sweethearts, and everybody talked about how romantic, how sweet, and everything they were. And that's pretty much what I want to say about them. I'm going to take you over and show you their grave in a minute. One little fun fact that I want to point out here at the cemetery, this road back here behind me is called Lover's Lane. So how fitting is that with Irma and Joe? So I'm going to take you all over there and show you their grave real fast. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up right here, okay? Thank y'all for coming to watch the video today. This is probably the hardest video I've ever had to make. Like I said, I wasn't even going to do it. Glad now, however, that I did go ahead and do the video. Hope it turns out okay. I hope y'all like it. I included everything in it that I wanted to include, that I knew was factual. I didn't want this video, 2 months from now, people to be heckling me in the comments about I said something wrong and all that. Try to keep it a little bit simpler, a little cleaner. So, anyways, y'all say prayers for these 19 babies and these 3 adults laying out here. They need these families. Can you imagine how many people are affected by this? So that every one of them will be my prayers tonight and for the next several nights for me personally. I'm on a 3 or 4 day road trip here down in Texas. Got a lot of good videos coming, and this is y'all's first time joining the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Check it out. Stick around for a little bit. If you don't like it after a few videos, unsubscribe. It's fine with me. Go ahead and hit the like button. Post it on your social media. Share it with your friends. That's how I pay for these videos. And like I said, thank y'all for coming and watching the video today. I'm going to ask for y'all's prayers again for these kids. And we're going to leave it right there. We'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, bye.